Right friends, welcome back to News of the Day with Prelims Focus. And yesterday one student, if I am correct, it is Ashutosh Singh, he commented about launch vehicle and rockets, and let me analyze that because I could not go through that in detail. And in yesterday's question he raised some objection, so we are going to deliberate next week. And similarly, few days ago one more student raised your option is correct if it includes only. So I am very happy that such minute things are also being pointed out by the students, and I am going to deliberate such issues next week when we start real prelims discussion. So I am very happy that you are pointing out minute things, and I welcome such type of critical appraisals, because with the critical appraisal only all of us will develop, right. So look into the first issue, news of the day. 25 CRPF men killed in Maoist attack, and it is one of the major attacks. It occurred in Chhattisgarh, and please don't forget, government nominated certain districts, left wing extremism affected districts, or LWE districts, left wing extremism districts. And recently, few months ago, government decided, or you can say approved, 11,700 crore project to improve rural road connectivity in the worst affected left wing extremism districts, right. So this is one news item. And second one is, more and more people including women are getting alienated in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the biggest worry for the government, and yesterday Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister met the Prime Minister, and something needs to be done immediately by the government of India. And if you look at the next news item, panel moots UID numbers for cows. Please look into this picture. Cows will have unique identification number, and here this is proposed. Ministry of Agriculture has devised a method of tamper proof identification, and from examination perspective, if someone asks this tamper proof identification of cattle, that will be by using polyurethane tags. Polyurethane tags will be used, and this method is devised by Ministry of Agriculture, and this will be tamper proof identification of cattle using polyurethane tags with unique identification number. So this may be made mandatory for all cow and its progeny throughout India, for all cattle that is owned. So government committee report filed before the Supreme Court bench led by Supreme Chief Justice of India J.S. Kheha. So in future, cows will have this tamper proof identification tags, and these tags are polyurethane tags. Look into the next one. Goldman prize for Niyamgiri hero. This Goldman Foundation, this is in United States of America, and this prize is given every year for 6 people from 6 geographical regions, and this year it is given to Prafulla Samantara, and this Goldman prize, this is also known as Green Nobel Prize. Green Nobel Prize, the foundation is based in United States of America, and here fighting for the rights of this particular Dongria Kondh tribes. Please don't forget, Dongia Kondh tribes are indigenous to this part of Orissa. The part of Orissa is that Niyamgiri hills. Please look into this. In fact, they feel that Niyamgiri hills are sacred to them. So this is 8,000 member indigenous tribe in Odisha, and in fact bauxite mining was supposed to take place. 12 Gram Sabhas opposed it, and they are fighting for the rights. In fact, he is the activist fighting for the rights of this particular tribes. And from examination perspective, Niyamgiri hills are in the news because bauxite mining was not allowed because of opposition by the Gram Sabhas and Niyamgiri hills, they are with bauxite. Then second important point is bauxite, of course, raw material for aluminium. Then these tribes, or you can say this activist, fought Vedanta. And another important aspect is here Dongriya Kond tribes. In examination, this also you can expect, right. So, this is all about this Goldman prize for Niyamgiri hero, and this is environmental prize, and it is also known as Green Nobel. These things please do not forget. Look into the next one. Worms versus plastic. How caterpillars can cause polyethylene degradation. Polyethylene, that is nothing but plastic. Polyethylene means that is the plastic that is toughest to be degraded, was degraded by one larva, that is larva of wax moth, Malaria melonella, and that has been shown to degrade polyethylene into ethylene glycol. So, by using this larva, this polyethylene was degraded into ethylene glycol. This is as per news report in some magazine, right. So, let us wait for further news. And the next one is show food grain subsidy at PDS shops, states told. At public distribution system, the minister's contention is maximum subsidy is given by the center and the states are getting the credit for rupees 2 and rupees 3, that means highly subsidized way. This wheat is being sold at rupees 2, whereas rice is being sold at rupees 3, and this is as per National Food Security Act. And here one important aspect is this is as per National Food Security Act 2013, and maximum subsidy was borne by the center and states are getting the credit. So, the minister says that the subsidy borne by the center as well as the states must be shown at the ration shops. Next one is solve a problem, win rupees 1 crore. Government is coming up with one innovative scheme which is known as IDEAS. IDEAS, IDEAS. What is the full form of IDEAS? IDEAS full form is Innovations for Development of Efficient and Affordable Systems. Innovations for Development of Efficient and Affordable Systems. And here the IDEAS is an initiative to challenge young minds to solve the contemporary problems. The problems are basically maybe in affordable healthcare. Affordable healthcare is one area, computer science and information and communication technology, then energy, maybe solar, renewable, then affordable housing, healthcare, agriculture, education, water resources and river systems. And on any of these aspects, the students from higher educational institutions, if they come up with a good innovative idea, they will be awarded. So, that is in fact a prize money is also rupees 1 crore to the best solution in each and every field. So, please do not forget the prize money is also rupees 1 crore. So, in future this IDEAS may be potential question for examination. Here rupees 1 crore is the prize money for each of the solution. Then Macron, Le Pen get ready for the final battle. French election, this takes place in 2 phases. If in the first phase no one gets more than 50% of the votes, then second phase takes place. Here in the first phase he got somewhere around 24%, she got somewhere around 21%, and the second phase is going to be held on May 7th. And one important aspect is, if he wins, European Union will stay, but if she wins, Eurozone, European Union, they will be threatened. So, this is crucial election as far as the future of European Union or Eurozone or Schengen zone. When you consider all these aspects, the election of the next French president is the key. Right. So, this election is quite crucial and he is supported by elite class and she got support from rural hinterland. In fact, Brexit is because of the support from rural hinterland. At the same time, Donald Trump victory is also because of the support from rural hinterland. And now opinion polls suggest he is supported by around 60%. She is supported by around 40%, but no one knows the mind of unemployed youth, rural people and the affected people, interior hinterland people. So, all depends on the final election. The final election on May 7th will be known, and one thing is clear: if Marine Le Pen wins, European Union will be affected badly, right. Then Ghana, Kenya, Malawi to pilot malaria vaccine, and please do not forget, during 2016-17 we got two news items with regard to malaria vaccines. One is PFSPZ, second one is RTSS. This PFSPZ, this is developed by Sanaria and RTSS is developed by GlaxoSmithKline. And these two malaria vaccines, and out of these two, this one RTSS, which is developed by GlaxoSmithKline, is going to be implemented in three countries of Africa on pilot basis. The three countries are Ghana, Kenya and Malawi. Please do not forget, every year 4,30,000 people lose their lives because of malaria, and out of this, children as well as the people from sub-Saharan Africa are worst affected, right. So, this is one good beginning, and first malaria vaccine, this will be on pilot basis in three countries, Ghana, Kenya and Malawi, please do not forget, and two formulations, one is RTSS as well as PFSPZ came into the news during last financial year, right. Then India aims to cut oil products imports as it spurs alternatives. Here one news report, it says that India is aiming to cut its oil products imports to zero as it turns to alternative fuels such as methanol, as stated by the Indian Transport Minister. This Reuters news report says, but a timeline is not given. India is going to cut its oil imports to 0%. Is it possible? The biggest question is, by which year is it possible? In fact, initial target is to reduce oil imports by 10% by 2022, if I am not wrong, and government is working in this direction. And government's intentions, please do not forget, we are the world's third biggest oil consumer, that is one point. Second point is, here in the energy mix, the natural gas, at present natural gas is 6.5% in the energy mix. The percentage of natural gas in the energy mix is 6.5%, and government wants to take it to 15% during the next 3 years, 3 to 4 years, right. And K. Vishwanath gets Phalke award, famous Telugu film director, and 48th Dada Saheb Phalke award has gone to Kasinathani Vishwanath from Andhra Pradesh. And if you look at Dada Saheb Phalke award, Dhundiraj Govind Phalke, popularly known as Dada Saheb Phalke, and he is known as father of Indian cinema, and he made 95 movies. A postage stamp was also released in 1971, and in the year 1969, in his name one award was instituted, which is famously known as Dada Saheb Phalke award, and this year it is 48th award, and it carries cash prize of rupees 10 lakhs and a Swarna Kamal. right. So, this year it has gone to K. Viswanath, famous film director, right. So, let us look at prelims 2017 discussion. Look at the first question, incremental capital output ratio, and please do not forget, I told you last time also, one is ICOR, this is very important term, and second one is with regard to gross fixed capital formation. Gross fixed capital formation, this is second important term, ICOR is important term. So, these two at any time you can expect in any examination of high standards, incremental capital output ratio and gross fixed capital formation, these two very important. Look at this, which of the following is incorrect? Technology can make the organizations efficient, which ultimately results in reduction in ICOR. Absolutely correct. The basic aim is incremental capital output ratio must be reduced and gross fixed capital formation, the second one, must be increased. That is ideal economic situation, but in our country during the recent years reverse is happening. Incremental capital output ratio is increasing, gross fixed capital formation is reducing. So, a critical question can be expected on these two aspects. Technology can make the organizations efficient, which ultimately results in reduction in ICOR. Absolutely correct. When ICOR is increased, export competitiveness will increase. Absolutely wrong. When ICOR is increasing, that means organizations are becoming more and more inefficient. More money is required to produce something. So, under those circumstances, global competitiveness will be reduced. Then ease of doing business can reduce ICOR, absolutely correct. If the rules and regulations are eased, if single window clearances are given, then definitely ICOR can be reduced. Then quality education can reduce ICOR, absolutely correct. Quality education, high quality educational institutions with industry linkages can reduce ICOR, right. So, the incorrect statement is B. Look at the next one, RBI decided on tap licensing policy for universal banks. Look at the following sentences with regard to the guidelines to be followed for issuing licenses. This RBI decided on tap licensing policy for universal banks, and whatever getting opened in recent times, please understand, payment banks as well as small finance banks, they are examples of differentiated banks or NIC banks, but universal banks are different. Universal banks can take up any type of operation, whereas NIC bank or differentiated banks can take up only specific type of operation. So, for universal banks, RBI announced on tap licensing. On tap licensing means applications will be invited and it is continuous process, as and when RBI requires that can select some applicants. So, it is continuous process, you can say 365/7 basis applications will be open, and as and when required RBI can give licenses, right. Banking system will be ring fenced from large industrial houses. Ring fencing is very important word in economy. Ring fencing means protecting something from other disturbances. If Reliance Industries is given, let us examine, let us take it for example, if Reliance Industries is given some banking license, the bank established by Reliance Industries must be protected from Reliance Industries operations, or you can say must be protected from the things happening in the industry, right. So, here ring fencing, this is correct, it must be ring fenced from large industrial houses. Minimum capital requirement is kept at ₹500 crore. So, both 1 and 2 is correct. Next one, compensatory afforestation bill was passed by Parliament last year. Look at the following sentences in this context. Union of India as well as each state will maintain compensatory afforestation fund. Prior to this bill, the amount deposited by various agencies because of diversion of forest land for some other purposes was going into consolidated fund of India, but once this bill is passed, now separate public account will be operated by both union and each state, and it is non-lapsable interest bearing fund under public account of Union of India and each state, non-lapsable interest bearing fund. So, it is non-lapsable, it will not lapse on March 31st. It will be continuous interest bearing fund under public account of Union of India and each state. So, both 1 and 2 is correct. So, a question is expected on compensatory afforestation bill. Please go through it in detailed way. Next one is, recently there is a news item that rupees 500 crore will be distributed annually to National Mineral Exploration Trust. National Mineral Exploration Trust, and here rupees 500 crore will be contributed annually. What is the mechanism for contribution of funds to NMET? Please go through the mechanism NMET. Here how the funding comes to National Mineral Exploration Trust. The funding will come because of leaseholders' contribution. Leaseholders contribute certain percentage when these are given on lease, when various mineral deposits are given on lease, they will pay royalty, and here certain percentage of the royalty that will go to National Mineral Exploration Trust. This is very, very important. Next one is, India created India Nuclear Insurance Pool. This is one important aspect of 2016-17. India Nuclear Insurance Pool was created, and read the following sentences. It provides insurance coverage to operators and suppliers, supplier of nuclear fuel as well as operator of nuclear reactors. So, it gives insurance to both of them for any nuclear liability towards the third party. If some nuclear accident happens, just like Fukushima, the liability will be taken care by this nuclear insurance pool, and it addresses the third party liability insurance. That means because of some nuclear accident, if damage takes place to the people, to various accessories, or you can say to third party, if some damage takes place, then it will be covered under civil liability for Nuclear Damage Act, or you can say it addresses the third party liability insurance under Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act of 2010. So, this is very important aspect which happened in 2016-17, which paved the way for investments by foreign countries, especially in nuclear reactors and supplying nuclear fuel. Next one is, quite often we hear about state development loans. Look at the following sentences. State development loans. If state government wants money for its development, it can issue bonds and it can take money. And here it is different from ways and means advances. Ways and means advances are different. Ways and means advances are for the short term mismatches of state governments. For short term mismatches of state governments, the money which is made available to the states is ways and means advances, and state development loans are basically loans taken by the state governments. So, first one is wrong. Second one is, maximum period is 10 years when state is issuing bonds. Please understand, when state is issuing bonds, maximum time period is 10 years. When central government is issuing government securities, the maximum time period or maximum tenure is 40 years, and these are managed by Reserve Bank of India. Both the state development loans as well as government securities of central government are managed by Reserve Bank of India, and one is 10 years duration, and G-Secs of Government of India are 40 years duration. So, here 2 and 3 correct. Look at the next one. Look at the following sentences. Sensex is the index which reflects the state of industrial securities market. Sensex is the index which reflects the state of industrial securities market. Absolutely correct. Then look at the next sentence. Nifty is the index which reflects the state of affairs in money market instruments. This is absolutely wrong. Both Sensex and Nifty reflect the state of industrial securities market, but the methodology is different, right. So, the first one is right option. Look at the next one. India INX became the first international exchange in our country. India INX became the first international exchange. This was established at IFSC of Gift City, Gandhinagar. International Financial Services Center of Gift City, Gandhinagar. Look at the following sentences. It will facilitate. What is the use of this India INX? This is also the recent development. India INX will facilitate international investors and NRIs to trade from anywhere in the world, because it is international exchange. NRIs as well as international investors can trade from anywhere in the world. Then second point is, it is wholly owned subsidiary of National Stock Exchange is absolutely wrong. It is wholly owned subsidiary of Bombay Stock Exchange or BSE, right. Digital audio broadcasting is in the news. Recently, one country announced that it is going for digital audio broadcasting, and look at the following sentences. Here I have given technical points. FM radio suffers from loss of quality from interference caused by buildings, mountains, etc., and digital radio gives steady signal in any geography. This is right point. Second one is, digital audio broadcasting works by coding sound into digital signals and then decoding at the destination using digital radio receivers. So, there is news item this year with regard to digital audio broadcasting. These two are right points. So, the right option is C. Look at the last one for today. Union government launched Swachh Swasth Sarvatra. Look at the following sentences. This is the joint initiative of Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Absolutely correct. Here, what is this Swachh Swasth Sarvatra? Here, in open defecation free blocks, ODF blocks, here in these blocks, community health centers will be given financial assistance of rupees 10 lakh, right. So, both the sentences are correct. So, answer is C. So, we discussed 10 questions today, and let us conclude here. And please do join for editorial discussion. Have a nice day. Thank you.